one of the very important person to honor, unfortunately could not join us to the banquet. And so we kept probably the best for last, right? This would have been our first award, and it's the Wangari Maathai Award for Innovative Scholarship and Leadership, which recognizes the stellar and emerging work of a junior scholar whose contributions to enhancing the future of Africa is expected to have enduring transformational impact. The recipient of this award is expected to ultimately embody and honor in quality and stature the work of Wangari Maathai, who was a scientist, scholar, feminist, environmentalist and conservationist, political and human rights activist, politician, distinguished academic chair, goodwill ambassador, recipient of 15 honorary doctorates, Nobel Peace Laureate, academic and public intellectual, philanthropist, messenger of peace, founder of the Greenbelt movement, and Africa's most recognized and decorated activists. So please, Dr. Abimbola Adelakun, if you would come and join me. Dr. Abimbola Adelakun is a Nigerian writer and lecturer in the African and Diaspora Studies Department at the University of Texas. At Austin, of course. And as a lecturer, she has taught courses on African American theater history, East Austin ethnography, Yoruba, and I needed you for yesterday, you should have heard me. An introduction to the study of Africa. She previously worked as an assistant instructor in the theater and dance department at UT Austin. Adelakun received her bachelor in communication and language arts at the University of Ibadan in Nigeria in 2006, followed by her master's degree in communication and language arts at the same university in 2010. She also received a master's degree in African and African diaspora studies from the University of Texas at Austin in 2013. She went on to earn her PhD in performance and public practice from the Department of Theater and Dance at the University of Texas in the summer of 2017. So this is, for many of us who are young scholars here tonight, great inspiration. Since this PhD, so the dissertation was titled God Mentality, Pentecostalism as Performance in Nigeria, West Africa. She has peer-reviewed a number of articles in journals such as the International Journal of Interdisciplinary Social Sciences in 2005, Journal of Culture and African Women's Studies also in 2015, and the Journal of Women and Religion in 2017. Adelakun has also peer-reviewed many of the chapter books, including Beyond the Boundaries with Toyin Falola and The Art of Genre Bending by Nana Amposa, Body Talk and Identity in the African World by Augustine Aguele, and the two other books expected this year, 2018. Awesome. And you have been contributing to the Encyclopedia of Yoruba in 2016. But this is not enough. Not just an academic, she is also a journalist. Dr. Adelakun writes a weekly column in Nigeria's most widely read newspaper, Punch, called Thursdays with Abimbola Adelakun, which she has done since October 2008, 10-year anniversary. She wrote a novel entitled Under the Brown Rusted Roofs, originally published in 2008. She has two other works in progress, including a monograph on culture and creativity in Africa, as well as In Chaote Masculinity of Daudu, Gender Performativity and Queer Subject in Yoruba Film and Performance. Dr. Adelakun has given presentations at conferences throughout the United States on her research, and of course, most recently at the Africa Study Conference in Chicago in 2017. She has spoken at the annual Africa Conference at the University of Texas on many occasions since 2012, and you did a fantastic job in 2016, right? So those of us who were here in 2016 remember that. She has volunteered for the Women's Storybook Project of Texas since 2013 and is also part of several professional organizations, including the African Study Association, the International Federation of Theater Research, and the American Academy of Religion. Congratulations.
The book we're giving away is on gender and women, and it's a support to our colleagues in Nigeria who organized a conference, and they requested us to publish it for them, which we willingly did. Some years ago, we created a consortium of over 20 African university presses, and we turned it into a board that I preside over. The intention is not to make profit, but to disseminate knowledge. When we publish a book, we give 50% of the production away for free, mailing them to the higher education at AU, who then distributes the book. Is it sustainable in the long run? We don't know, because we don't make money, or if we don't generate money, we subsequently will get into trouble. But so far we are doing well, and we are releasing our first art book in the next 1 month. Very, very expensive, $19,000 we're spending on it, on the work of Victor Ekpo. For those of you who have published on images and things like that, art books are usually very expensive because we want to do color separation and things like that. And we've initiated a project on the images of African cities, showcasing them. Somebody attempted this some years ago. The Obio Furniture published 2 volumes on the city, which is very majestic. This is one small contribution in saying that we are not what people outside of us describe us, or we represent alternative. And some of these alternatives, we have to present them. So as we speak further, the books will be put on your table, and it is a book published by us as a consortium, and hopefully you will like it. Now we move into the publishing of the conference papers very quickly. What we normally do, for those of us who have been following us, is to identify somebody who is part of the conference and invite the person to co-edit the volume. Last year, 35 people came from TASWED, and we decided to give the papers to TASWED to edit. It's also another small contribution in terms of mentoring. You can't just keep complaining, you have to mentor people. And Ken Kalu will be contacting 1 or 2 people whom he identified. Last year we chose Adetoro. That's right. Leadership doesn't mean that because I do the conference, I should be the one to benefit from it. I don't think that way. You have to work for other people, so that other people too will grow. So we will distribute the book. We usually want feedback, but we don't have time to talk. We will take a maximum of 3 people to say something. Maximum of 3. Please, the panels are over. The banquet speech is over. The keynote is over. We don't want another keynote. 3 people, and one of whom must be a woman. You can be driven by the spirit, or you can be driven by the liquor. or by satanic power. Just very quickly. Feedback on the conference, very quickly, please. If there is no feedback, we'll save time as well. Please.
Somebody?
Please. Where is it?
Just a little observation from the panels that I attended. I felt that at some point it seemed like we talked a lot about the problems that we face in Africa. And I feel like we as researchers, we already know that. Like, we know that there are problems. So why keep repeating and repeating? So I feel like we need to get to a point where it's not just about talking politics and talking problems, but asking ourselves, why do we have those problems? Because why we have those problems, if we can figure out why we have those problems, that we can create a solution, and which is, I guess, the reason why we're here. We are scholars who want to find solutions to the problems that we see in Africa. So probably I'm saying this from a biased point of view as a political scientist now, but I feel like we need to start from some kind of theoretical grounding to figure out, like, why do we face the things that we face, and then come up with solutions for them. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. And just to be short, thank you to Professor Falola for having made this possible for many, many, many years. And this also would have been difficult to organize without people like these, right? Kofi and his team. So we say thank you very much for the hard work. I've probably said it 50 times by now, but it's never enough. Thank you for the warm welcome. Thank you for the food, the t-shirts, and everything else you have done to make this possible. We are really grateful for all your efforts. Thank you very much.
I'd like to say that this being my first time participating at this conference is such an eye-opener, and since we started, my mind has been ruminating on so many dimensions. One, I like to join Professor Falola and possibly the UT team to really discuss the sustainability dimension. I don't think it's rocket science. It's something that can easily fit into some kind of framework. The second thing is, do we have to wait till we regather at the next conference before we harness the immense richness of the conference? And my mind has been ruminating on how the elements can be distilled into some kind of conversation that continues and culminates into some other activity. How that works out, because I already have my school, actually, the Ibadan School of Government and Public Policy, already has a relationship with Professor Falola, so we will take it up institutionally. But to say that this is, the contribution of this is, the value is indescribable, and it should also be possible to see how many more people can benefit from the output of the conference without necessarily being brought down. These are big issues, but certainly we'll start to converse around it. I congratulate everyone for the success.
Kofi, ordinarily, this is the time where I just thank everyone, and of course, I want to thank Professor Falola, his wonderful wife who's hosting us also tonight, Bisola, and please, and all of the volunteers, but of course, the conference organizers. So usually, you just get a gift from me, and that's all. But today, you're getting 3 gifts because you need to also make sure that Martha and Ken will get their gifts. So sorry for giving you a little extra work.
Thank you very much. Thank you all for coming. I thank Prof for the opportunity. I've learned a lot, and hopefully I'll see a lot of you next year as we prepare for the next year's edition. If I don't see you again, I'll see a couple of you before you go. So thank you for coming. Without you, there will be no conference without audience. In spite of the challenges, you made time to come and share your ideas and grace this occasion. I thank you all very much for coming.
I must say something that many of you may not know, that when you organize a conference, it's 1 year of your life that you put into it. And the way we structure it is that the conference organizers get published. My favorite example is that of Steve Sam, who organized with me a conference on cities and urbanization. Very huge one. Like 60-something people came from South Africa alone. And as he was publishing from it, when he got his job, the dean and his head of department told him, "You don't need to publish anything anymore. You're already a full professor." And they promoted him subsequently. Why did I bring it up? This conference organizer, his own field of interest has nothing to do with contemporary or modern issues. He studies dead people. Trash and bones and refuse. He's an archaeologist of pre-colonial Africa. All you talk about contemporary institutions and things. So I've been very pained that he did all this work, but he won't be able to edit any of the collection unless we figure out how to do it. But I'm not bothered by that, because if you do things just because you want to benefit from doing things, society will not move forward. So you've given us yet another example of how we should show leadership. Thank you very much. Well, that is the end of all speeches, unless somebody wants to say something, because what follows is for us now to go and dance. Now, for those of you who don't dance, the principle of dancing is for you to lose the calories. That we've given you 1,000 calories. If you dance for 1 hour, all the entire 1,000 calories are lost.